Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakapadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. And peace, love, and say touch to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. And shalom to the brothers and sisters out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. All right, I just wanted to go into a lesson on basically going into how this westernized mindset, this Western society, Western world has completely destroyed, our culture, who we truly are, and what we truly, our purpose, our true purpose, and going into how the culture of America, the Western mindset is, it doesn't produce anything but death. It don't produce life. It doesn't teach you how to maintain the earth or maintain, society or anything, because in our culture and in our in the law, statutes, and commandments in the Israelite culture, it teaches you about life. It teaches you how to live. It teaches a man how to grow up to become a man. It teaches a woman how to grow up and become a woman and be a good wife. It teaches the man how to be a good husband and be a servant to the man. And it teaches the man how to be a good servant to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, And for simple things, like I say, animals of the wetlands, we don't understand different things about the animals, The culture of America doesn't teach you, like growing up, we go to school, we don't learn about different things like the diversities of plants, the diversity of trees, the different types of insects, the different types of animals, the different types of rocks, the different types of stones, the different types of grass, so on and so forth, and how all these things interact in our environment, how it interacts with our culture, how it benefits us, how it benefits the earth. We don't learn about none of these things. All of this is a part of our culture, The different types of water animals. There go a turtle right there. I don't know if, yeah, you can see it. We don't learn about these different animals and their, functions in society. And then you go into the insects like bees, how they pollinate pollinate the plants, pollinate pollinate the tree, pollinate the things, and how it all benefits us, vegetation, our crops, even down to the things or the insects that people don't really, that's not really popular in the world, like mosquitoes and different animals, different insects like that. Because, they are a nuisance to us. They bite you, you get bumps, but they still have their perfect purpose in the world, or else the Lord would have never created it. Everything, like I said in the beginning, everything that the Lord created was good. So I'm going to start and just grab a couple scriptures. I'm going to start in Genesis, if I can pull it up. I got this other phone. Let me see. See what app can get to it. This is Genesis chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 28 and read verse 28 to 31. And the Most High blessed them and said, going into male and female. Well, I started 27. So the Most High created man in his own image. In the image of the Most High created he him. Male and female created he them. And the Most High blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And the Most High said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it should be for meat. Right. But over here in America, we don't learn about the different trees, the diversity of the herbs, We don't learn about how they can benefit us, how taking certain herbs, will actually bring you back to health, keep you in good health. We don't understand how they react to our body, because you have certain herbs and certain things you can take, you can eat, you can drink, you can inhale, you can smell, you know, and it all changes, or it all, helps the body in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And it said it should be for you for meat, but over here in America, we don't learn about that, you know. Over here, we have access to, in this whole Western mindset, we have access to fast food, We have access to pharmaceuticals. We go to the doctor for everything. And I ain't saying going to the doctor is wrong, but, a lot of these doctors, they look up your ailments on Google. They look up if they don't know. They might look up your ailments and tell you what to take, And a lot of these medicine that they give us, it has herbs in it. And the herbs is what's gonna knock it. It's what's working the most, Esau Edom got his own engineered things that he put in there to try to knock whatever it is you got going on. But the Lord has given us everything that we need on the earth, We just don't know about it because you don't learn about it. In the school, you're not taught about it. Over here in America, we're taught about how to, the things that's gonna keep you being a slave, keep you in that slave mentality, It's nothing that's gonna, like, for example, you go to school, you learn about, you might want to be an engineer, a doctor, which is nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you're not told about the earth. We're not told about the plants, like I was going into, the animals, how these things interact with us. We only told about how to keep this society running, Go be a doctor, go be a lawyer. You can keep this society, keep this whole westernized world running. You're the next generation that's going to keep it running. But what about our culture as Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans? What about our culture? What about the things that keep us running? The things that the Lord created for us to help maintain the earth? Because as you see right now, the current managers of the earth, they're managing it all wrong. They don't understand the laws, statutes, and commandments. They don't understand how the Lord wanted the earth to be managed, because he created it in such a way for the only people to manage it are his people, his chosen people. And he gave them the correct way on how to manage it, and he gave us, this is the whole reason he created these different things. Like, it's trees that you will see on the trail, the different types of trees. It says, the first one, the white oak tree. The second one, the lobelia pine, the pine tree. The third, eastern red cedar. The fourth, the red maple, And they give you different information about these trees. But see, we don't understand. We don't learn these things, We don't learn about these things in school. You might learn about it if you look it up, if you had a particular interest into it. But we're not taught about the earth itself. It says, verse 29 again, and the Most High said, behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the earth, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. Right? He said, and everything that creepeth on the earth, all these different types of animals, I created them for you, in which we know the world, the earth and everything that's in it, it's supposed to be paradise. It was created for the Israelites to subdue, He gave this all to Adam, And Adam was the son of God. And the Israelites, the word Israel means prince of the power, So we are the sons of God. All of this was created. The Lord created it for us, And he created us for us to enjoy. It's all a part of our culture. Verse 31, and the Most High saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning was the sixth day. Right, so I'm going to get another scripture in Wisdom of Solomon. Because Solomon understood, he said he understood the diversity of plants and, their properties, what they do, how to use them. He understood these things. It's a part of our culture. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. We'll start at verse 16. We'll start at verse 15. The Most High have granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as is meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom and directeth the wise, right? For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also and knowledge of workmanship. For he have given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely to know how the world was made, and the operation of the elements, you know, the beginning, ending, and midst of times, the alterations of the turning of the sun and the change of the season. All this is a part of our culture. This is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of how Yahweh Hashem Yahushua created and made everything, which we once had this knowledge. You know, we coming back into it, but the point is, all of this is a part of our culture. This Western culture, black culture, you know, this westernized mindset, it's all leading unto death. It's not what's gonna lead to life, you know. This is not what the Lord created for us. He didn't create Israelites. He didn't create the Judah and give them over to black culture, you know. He didn't create the the Northern Kingdom and give them over to the cultures that they're into, you know, being an Indian, so-called Mexican, you know. That's not what we were created for. We were created to be Israelites, to subdue the earth, to rule over the earth. Ruling over the earth, we're going to rule over these nations. And when that time comes, when Yahweh shall come back and put us back in our rightful position, all these things is going to be returned unto us. We're gonna manage the earth in righteousness. And a part of managing the earth in righteousness is knowing how the earth operates. That's what Solomon was saying. He know how to, you know, the operation of the elements. He know how the earth operates, you know. He understood how to maintain the earth. Verse 19 again, the circus of years and the positions of stars. In verse 20, this is the point, the natures of living creatures and the furies of wild beasts, going into the animals, the violence of winds and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants and the virtues of roots. Going into the earth, the virtues of roots, the diversity of plants, the different types of trees, grass, you know, the different type of wildlife, the different type of rocks, you know, the different types of biomes, different type of environments. He understood all these things. The different types of stones, because the stones play a vital part in our culture, in our lives. You know, it's gonna play a vital part in the kingdom of heaven, because our kingdom is gonna be consistent. You know, it's gonna be made with the stones and the different, you know, which I'm gonna get that. The different type of trees and different things. Verse 21, and all things that are either secret or manifest, them I know. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtile, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, which the point was the diversity of plants and the virtues of roots, and, you know, knowing about the different animals. All this is a part of our culture. This is knowledge that we didn't have access to, that we don't have access to, because you might start telling our people about certain things, certain plants, certain trees. Now they don't really care about it. They don't really see the benefit in it, you know. If it don't benefit their life, they don't really care about it. Let's see. I think it's Revelation 21.
Am I really all that fair of a person?
It's Revelation chapter 21. I'm gonna start at it's Revelation chapter 21. I'm gonna start at verse 18. It says, and the building of the wall of it was of jasper. These are all stones. And the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth a topaz, the 10th a chrysoprasus, the 11th a ginseng, and Salakia for the bad pronunciation, the 12th amethyst, and the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of one pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold as it was transparent glass. Right. So the temple, the city, our kingdom is going to be built up beautifully, and it's going to be beautified. The Lord is going to have all different types of manner of plants, trees. They all grass. They're all going to be giving off a sweet smell, you know, because different trees, different plants, different types of grass, they all have different smells, different properties, you know. We're going to have clean water, you know. Even the different types of water now. You got salt water, you know, clean water, fresh water, and understanding the properties of them. See, this is all a part of our culture, all a part of our knowledge, you know, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, because once again, the Lord created the earth for our sake, which I'm going to get that too. He created it for our sake, and he wanted us, and he created for the purpose for us to subdue it and to rule over it. So we have to, you know, it's a part of our culture to understand how the earth operates. Let me get that. In Second Esdras. This is Second Esdras chapter 6, starting at verse 53. Upon the sixth day, which we just read in Genesis chapter 1, upon the sixth day thou gavest commandment unto the earth, that before thee it shall bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things, and after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all these creatures, of him come we all, and the chosen also whom thou hast chosen, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Right, which is the point. The Lord created the earth for our sakes, and he created all these things, the creatures, the wild, you know, the creatures, the wildlife, the plants, the animals, you know, everything he created for our sakes. So it's a part of our culture to understand how these things operate. What about like when you have certain animals that migrate to another, to a whole nother area because the seasons are getting ready to change? Why do they do this? How do they know where to go? You know, and I ain't saying it's in our culture just to understand all the animals, but in this Western culture, it doesn't basically teach you to appreciate the earth. You know, it doesn't teach you to appreciate the creation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So understanding these things it's a reason why the Lord created them. It's a reason why they operate the way they operate. It's a reason why they are here. You know, how does a bird know to build his nest? How does it know where to build his nest? Who taught a spider how to weave its web and the certain different patterns that it has? You know, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua created all these creatures. He created these insects. He created, you know, like the dragonfly. The dragonfly, how does it know? Where does it get its food from? What does it eat? You know, these are the different things that Solomon understood. You know, but in Western culture, we're not taught it. We're not taught that. This Western mindset, all we're taught is to obey our lust. You know, to obey your thirst. Do as thou wilt. You know, you should only be focusing on trying to make a career for yourself. You know, especially for women, this whole Western culture try to make career women instead of teaching them how to be wives. What about the things that makes a woman more valuable, like the skills she possesses? You know, we understand like cooking, cleaning, you know, being able to cater or serve a man rather, you know, cater to a man, serve a man. But also too, what about knowing how to knit? What about certain knowledge that, like knowing how to care for animals, or knowing how to farm, knowing how to plant, knowing how to grow a garden, the different things that make you stand out. We're not taught this over here in America. We're taught to go to Esau Edom for everything. If we want food, we want, and I ain't saying we have to start learning how, ant be able to crawl up a wall or nothing. I'm not saying we should learn every single thing, but my point is, it's a part of our culture to understand the earth and the operation of it and how it, how it functions. Because especially for us men, we're finna be the next rulers, the men of the nation of Israel, the elect, under Yahweh Shah. We finna be the next rulers in the earth, We finna rule over the earth in righteousness. And we're gonna understand all these things. We're gonna understand how these different animals, because we're not gonna be like Esau Edom, going and destroying the habitat where animals live, throwing off the ecosystem there. We're not gonna do nothing like that. We're not gonna go chop down trees and, destroy the earth like Esau Edom and build factories so we can manufacture different products to send back over here to America to make money. We're not gonna operate, we're not gonna, manage the earth in that fashion. So we're gonna understand all these things, and over here also in this Western culture, they don't teach you to appreciate the earth, but they don't teach you to enjoy it either, We don't, over here, a lot of people don't get a chance to go on vacation and go somewhere that's, not like, over here in America, basically, where you go to a different city, go to a different state, and you still around the whole Western culture, Western mindset. What about taking trips to Dubai, going to a beach, going somewhere that's untapped where you can connect with the earth more, where the vibrations are different. We don't have the opportunity to do things like that. Not everybody, It's not a large majority of people that can just do that. Most people, they don't even really get to leave or go on vacation at all. Go nowhere. So, the whole point of this lesson was just to go into, basically, the earth was created for our sakes, and we was, the Lord created it for the purpose for the Israelites to subdue, and we're about to be the next managers, the world rulers of the earth. But we have to get out of that Western mindset that, everything is just here, and not really understanding the purpose of why it's here, because it's all a part of our culture. This is all a part of being an Israelite, a son of the Most High, a son of Yahweh Shah, because he created everything for a reason. So Lord will, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that were well, and peace, love, and salutation to the brothers out there pushing his word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers and sisters out there keeping his word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom.